This week is our salute to the service, the men and women that pay the price for our freedom, and we're wearing a uniform to honor them. And I tell our players, it's not about the uniform; it's about recognizing the sacrifice that they make, so that we can get to live in this country and have the freedoms that we have. Because freedom's definitely not free. So it's something that's a great honor for us to get to do that this week. He's a virus, so he's doing better. Really, I mean, I don't, not much to, I mean, go back and looking at the film, I'll make one really comment. We got their very best game. They played extremely well. It didn't help us, obviously, not having him, not having Rennell. Those things hurt, but it was basically they played their very best game, and it's the best personnel we've played against on that night. They played really, really well. They played their very best. They got some guys back. The Fatu, the nose tackle, was a big get back for them. He played really well. Porter Gustin was a deal, I think, helped them getting him back. But they played absolutely the best that I've seen them play, and you got to give them credit. They were when I looked at the film, that's what really stuck out to me. And obviously, we did not play our best. I mean, we had some chunk yards and some plays. Our whole deal was just getting behind in the first half. We just weren't able to make any first downs, and you got to give them a lot of credit for how they played and what they did. We just didn't. We weren't able to run the football, and that was they were, and that was the difference in the game. No, I mean, when I went back and looked at the film, it was not like my perceptions that night was, golly, we really didn't play very good, and we didn't, but they really played well. That was by far their best game, and then I think that they're skilled players, and they're obviously they're very, very talented. And we have not played a team more talented than them that played at the level that they played. So I think it's the best team we've played on the. I can only go by when we play each team. They were pretty good. You got to give them credit. They were really outstanding. They played outstanding. And on the same hand, we did not. We did not play our best game. And when you play in those games, you got to play your best game. And so. I did think at halftime we came back out and we scored, made it a 14-point game. I thought we had a good chance to make a run coming back, and I think that. But you just can't, you can't give up that much, that many. It was all big plays. It was 5 huge, 2 big play run touchdowns and 3 big play passes. One of the passes is a quick out, just don't tackle the guy. And we haven't done that, and I think that it has a lot to do with them, as well as maybe we didn't execute on that play. Then they burn us so deep on one play where it was an error, but it wasn't. It was just a slight error. Daz just paused, and it was just enough for him to get by him. And then on the 3rd touchdown pass looked like we should intercept it, and he made a pretty fantastic throw. So I thought their quarterback played flawless, and you got to get that guy off balance and get some things going for you. And then the deal was the big runs, the 2 big runs, and then chunk yardage that they would get off run plays. They just were better than us Saturday. And we didn't play well. I think we've only had 3 times since I've been here. We've had 9 or more penalties, and that was one of them. And that's about all I can say about that. Yeah, I can't really say what I think about some of that. Uh, you know, so, you know, but it's pretty. Our guys are pretty disciplined when it comes to that. And I've been here almost 6 years, and we've only had 3 times that's happened. So, you know, that's part of the game. It's the way the game works. Those things sometimes are, you can't control. You can't worry about things you can't control. That's not why we lost the football game. They outplayed us. That's why we lost the game. But we're on to the next week.
A lot of times it seems like once November starts, it's kind of where the season either goes north or south. How do you feel just where you are?
Feel good about our football team. We're the same team that has beat 2 top 25 teams, 1 top 5 team. Got a good football team. We got great character on our team. I think pretty healthy for this time of year. That helps us. I mean, even though we've lost 3 starters earlier in the year. So I think you got to be healthy going into November. You got to have a right frame of mind, and you got to bring it. You got to bring it every week. So I feel good about our team and where we're at. It's not going to every week. We're playing a very good Colorado team that's coming off of they're probably their best game. They're very, very talented offensively, big play capabilities at running back. They're going to go really, really fast tempo. That's really a challenge, and so we got a big challenge ahead of us each week. And you just gotta go out, each week and play your best game in the Pac-12. It doesn't matter if it's September, October, November. It doesn't matter. When you're playing Pac-12 games, you've got to come out and you got to play every week, and you got to be at your best because you're gonna have teams that for whatever reason or they come out and you got to, if they're going to give their best game, you got to be at your best game. So I feel good about our team where we're at. Obviously, it was a tough loss for us, but I think we learned some things, and our guys had a great film session. We're going to have great practice. We're going to go to work. We got to control the things that are right in front of us, and the only thing we can worry about is Colorado. But I feel good about our team. I feel good about the young men, our character on our team, the discipline that we have. We just got to push the restart, go the next week. Injury kept him, injury kind of, got him way behind, and then we tried to, get him to. We were trying to look at him a little bit on defense, and I think that was just too much to do, trying to come off the injury, and then he's slowly getting more reps coming back in, but he's in the rotation. I think Coach Cassidy does that. We obviously have a state of Arizona flag that is always carried by one of our players from this state, and then we have American flag that we carry. That usually there's different people, whether it be some people we have that have family in the military or that request to do it, and so just something that we do. I think Rennell will play this week. I don't think we have anybody that won't play. I think one of the things that was tough last week was still not having AJ. I think that was a major factor in the game. And then I think losing Daz was a tough deal too. I think they're every bit as good offensively. I think the quarterback's very, very similar. Very well coached. There's not anybody in this league I got more respect for than Coach McIntyre. I think he does a tremendous job. He's going to have his guys ready. His guys going to play his guys are going to play inspired. They're very fast. Their receiving core and they've had games where they've had them wide open, 5 yards behind them, and they've just missed. The timing's been a little bit off at times, but people that have beat them have had to score to beat them. So they're obviously they graduated quite a few guys off their defense, especially their front. But they're still playing extremely hard and a really good football team. They've lost to, I think I said this morning, the 3 of the 4 teams that they've lost to in the conference, Washington State, Arizona, and Washington, are like 22-4 or 5. So they've lost to some good people, and I think they came off their best game this last week. They're playing well. They're pretty healthy as a team, and but I think the strength of their team last year was probably their defense, and the strength of their team this year, I think, is their offense. So even though I think they're solid everywhere else, they'll be very well coached as well. How did he do, or would you?
How did he do it? How do you think he figured
Yeah, I mean, he's just learning. You know, his whole deal, he's going to be a phenomenal player. He's very gifted. Obviously, it gave him a taste of how fast it is, and his eyes were pretty big. And so he's just a tremendous kid. You know, he first got in there, he was trying to knock people down, and that you can't not at this level. You don't knock very many people down. So he just got to be a sure tackler, and then the communication and how rapid that works, and how motions and shifts and change the complexity of what we do defensively, and making the calls and stuff, and being the quarterback is something that it gave him a good taste of it. And as he learns, he's going to be a great player for us, no doubt about it. So how much he plays in his role is just predicated on how fast he learns. He's played outstanding. Christian and DJ have. I thought both of them played really well. What was that was your question? I mean, I think that both DJ and Christian have played, had their best season, as well as Jamarcus Rhodes. I think Jamarcus has played extremely well. We got hurt, on both big runs were runs we should have a guy down. And we were out of our gap up front in one position, and they attacked that same spot quite a bit, and that was smart. They were smart. They knew we had a guy that was out, not playing, and so they attacked that certain area. So, but we got to tackle them. We had opportunities on both those big, long touchdown runs to tackle them, and we've done that. We've tackled them. We haven't missed tackles like that. You got to give them some credit, too, because the times we haven't tackled have been against 2, I think, really elite running backs, and you got to give them credit.